Hello all, you're about to watch a video on my life path and birthday numbers, which is a life purpose video. And if you're interested in this range, then this is the book for you. So this details all the lessons of the life path with whatever particular birthday number you are. And remember, the lessons of the life path is 90% your focus. But you need to also consider and bring in the flavour of your birthday number too. And this is the book for you if you're interested in this range. And welcome to my Life Purpose series. Now this video was requested by someone that is a Life Path 4, the most important number in their chart. But then they got to bring in the essence of the 3, which isn't easy because the 3 and the 4, I would say, are very different energies. So it's saying be a 4, be that organised, task-focused, committed, goal-achieving, meticulous, accurate builder as a 4, which is getting away from being really, feeling... what's the word? Disorganized, uncommitted, not moving forward on the ideas that you have, which is the struggle with the 4, getting focused, getting organized, getting ready. That's the most important. But then the 3 energy says you've got to bring in some fun, some creativity, some woo, some wah, some social. They're 2 very opposite numbers. So what this is asking you to do is be a little bit of both, but mostly the 4. The most important, the most difficult for you is going to be that 4, because that is your life path number. So I guess if I was looking at these 2 numbers together, I would say somebody that lives their life in a fun, dynamic way, but organises themselves and puts their responsibility to their home and work first. It might be someone that builds a business or is here to build a business, but a creative, dynamic business, bringing in the 3. So this isn't the easiest of purposes because you're being asked to be 2 sides of the coin. Yes, more strongly the serious, organised, routine, focused, get it done kind of person, but also bringing in that energy of networking and fun and creativity and verbal communication, inspiring and informing and delighting your audience. So we're going to start off with the most important, which is that 4. But then you'll notice when we look at the 3, there are some stark differences. So you're being asked to sort of be able to tip both ways, really, being organised and serious and getting things done, but also sometimes a bit fun-loving, a bit carefree, creative, and not so rule-abiding as maybe the 4 might be. So you've got to mix the 2. So somebody with a serious business that has a creative product would be very much trying to merge those 2 numbers together. But there are up-teen ways to bring these numbers together, not just a business or a creative business. There are many ways, because the 4 just isn't about business and work. It's a very big part of it, but it's also about keeping your family together and making sure your family is housed and supported and loved and safe and stable and secure. So let's get to looking at what you're here to do and then how you're going to do it. So basically, this is the life path 4. Now you'll notice if I go down to the social to achieve, there's not so much. It's mostly tasks. So the 4 is about getting tasks done. It's less about the people. It's more about sorting yourself out and getting, committed and achieve your goals. Be a planner, be meticulous, be focused, be hardworking in a balanced way, of course. You don't want to work too hard. And working with patience, making sure all the screws and bolts are in the right place, all the cement is perfectly between the bricks to make sure everything you build is strong. And that's not just the tangible things. This is the procedures, the policies, the watertight plans and ideas, which is very much the 4. Now, none of this is going to be easy because it's your main purpose number, and that's why you brought this energy, because it's something you want to improve. So you're here to be committed. Now, which implies that fours might find it difficult to commit. You're here to be committed to a place, to the people, all the places and people and ideas that help you put down roots and dig foundations for your safety and stability and security and the stability of those around you too. But because you're here to be committed to the people and places that you need to build strong foundations, you could be uncommitted, very airy-fairy, not really committing to any place or people and not building any security underneath you. So very flighty, very changeable, not committed to any one thing. And you might be someone that struggles to set themselves goals. You might find yourself a bit directionless at times, bit of a drifter, a bit scattered, a bit unable to decide exactly what you want to achieve, because you're here to learn to decide and set and achieve goals that lead to your stability, your security and your safety. So that's going to be a job, a home, or wherever it is that safety and stability and security is to you. You need to have goals to take you there, and quite meticulous goals at that. You're here to be a clear, meticulous planner of your goals and everything else that you do. And it's not just about building things tangibly, it's about having a secure procedure to ensure that every step is achieved in your goals and whatever it is you're doing in life. But because you're here to be that meticulous and plan every step towards where you want to be, you could be prone to failing to think ahead, failing to plan, missing steps, or getting stuck on one issue or missing bits out, not doing it in a very accurate and fully, complete kind of way. You're here to learn to be extremely focused on each step of your goals, completely focus on each step of everything that you do. So you've got to have your goals first, and you've got to dig those foundations first. That's the first thing you've got to do. But then when you have a goal, you've got to be focused on it, and you've got to focus on it step by step, to be detail orientated, accurate, organized, analytical, not miss steps, not get stuck on any one step. But of course, because you're a 4, you're liable to be unfocused, often inconsistent, maybe a bit slapdash, prone to missing steps, disorganized, and often uninterested in having directions to go in. So you're a bit of a directionless drifter when you're a real struggling 4. You're here to learn to be hardworking, but in a balanced way. So you've got to have that goal. You've got to have a plan, and then you've got to be able to work on it, to be willing to do all the tasks that surround it, even the routine ones. But you might be lazy, especially if you don't have them goals in place, or you haven't committed to any one place. You might be, either goalless or struggling to achieve any of your goals in any accurate way. You may not maintain your environment. You may not hold down a job. You may be constantly floating from this way to the other, not really working consistently with the 4 is meant to do. And then when you have that commitment, when you've dug that foundation, when you've set and achieved your goals, when you've worked out a plan and a process, and that you're focusing with detail and accuracy and organized analysis to your goals, and then working hard in a balanced way, of course, to achieve it, you've got to be patient and willing to persevere with each step of your plan towards your goal, because sometimes it seems a bit slow, and a 4 can really think to themselves, things aren't moving fast enough, I'm not getting things done quick enough. And then that can really make them panic and take their energy and stop them from achieving anything. So patience, if it helps for you to write down everything you do each day to help you remember all the steps you are taking, that might be a good idea. But patience is key, because there's lots of policies and bureaucracy and obstacles and limitations for you to get positive about and for you to get past, because there will be external limitations. Okay, there will be obstacles put in your way by the world around you, by the lessons that you still need to learn. But that is not an excuse for you to stop, to be impatient, to cut corners, or give up. You know, sometimes a four can give up when they're presented with limitation and struggle and obstacle. They think, well, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. Or they might have their own self-imposed limitation, like your own self-esteem and your own lack of motivation could stop you. But it's about being able to deal with these restrictions and limitations and move on anyway, not give up. So a four needs to commit. They need to set their goals ready to be achieved and plan each process of their goals, their process and procedure towards achieving their goals, whether they're big goals or small goals, to be focused on every step in a very detail orientated, accurate, organized and analytical way, and then to have a balanced work ethic to get it done. Even the routine tasks need to be done. The most creative environments in the world still have the routine tasks that need to be done to help keep everything flowing. And then when you're in that flow of work and you're focusing hard, you've got to be patient about results. You know, it's happening. You know, persevere, take each step towards your goals. Even if you're feeling that you're not moving forward, you are. And when limitation, when, you know, external obstacles or internal obstacles get in your way, that is not an excuse to give up. So that's the task focus of the Life Path 4, if that's what you're here to do. The social is like very small. It's very much about victimhood, because both 4s and 9s actually can really struggle with family members or certain situations in childhood. And they can sometimes get this element of victimhood, this, you know, oh, this happened to me and that happened to me, so it's made it difficult for me to move forward, and it's really stopped me, it's really held me back, you know, holding on to old pain and allowing it to stop you from being the person you're here to be. Well, you've got to get past that victimhood. Your perceived past relationship issues are an opportunity for you to learn by experience. There's always going to be situations that are going to be difficult, and it's not about giving up. It's not about saying, oh, you know, I've been hurt, therefore I can't. It's about learning what you went through, learning what you could do better next time, how you could manage the situation next time, learning wisdom from the situation, and then being able to move on stronger. That is the whole point of this element, to be able to get past that victimhood and move on. So there are many types of 4. You can be just a 4 on its own. You know, you could have a day of birth like the 1st or the 10th. You know, you could be born on an early month like January, February or March, and you could have been born in a 1 or a 2 year. So you could just be a 4 with no sublessons. And a lot of the time that's actually quite easier because you don't have the sublessons to deal with as well. But most people have sublessons beforehand, like the karmic debt of the 134, the 314, and of course the 404. So somebody might be a 134 if they were born on the 6th of June 1999. So you've got the 6 and then the 6th for June, and then 1999 is a 1 year. So adding that all up comes to 13. So they would be a 13/4. Same with the 4th of July 2004. Plus 7 for July and 2 for the year 2000. Same for the 314. Now, as you go up the numbers, one of your 3 elements may need to be a master number, like born on the 22nd, the 22/4 master energy. 22 plus 6 plus 3, which would make 31. Or this birthday has 2 master numbers within it, 11 and 11 again, 11th of November. So you keep those 2 11s to make 22. And then if you were born in 2007, that's a 9 year. So you add that to make 31. And rarer still, many people that are a 404 have definitely got at least 2 master numbers in the 3 elements of their date of birth, like the 11 of July, which is 1966, which is a 22 year, or the 7th of November, master month, 1993, which was the last 22 year we're going to have for hundreds of years. So there's going to be a much less, since 1993, much less of the higher numbers born for quite a few hundred years. So if you're already a 404, you're quite rare in what you're here to do. So the birthday number, so the 4 is the most important energy, and if you just achieve that, that is a feat within itself. But if you can bring in also the energy of the 3, if you were born on the 3rd or the 12th or the 21st or the 30th of any month, your birthday number 3. And of course you do have to take into account to a lesser degree the detail of the 1-2 for the 1-2-3 or the 2-1 or the 3-0. Now in the 1-2-3, the 2 is the most important sublesson of the birthday number. If you're a 2-1-3 born on the 21st, it's the innovative 1 energy that's the most important of those two numbers. And if you're born on the 30th, it's a very intense lesson of the 3. So you have more potential to do more, but also more difficulty to deal with. And the 0 is very much about not only intensifying the lesson of the 3, but also bringing some intuition and some reading between the lines kind of energy, you know, trusting the soul within you. And again, it's your birthday number. It's not going to be as difficult as it was if it was your life path number, but there will be some difficulty there. So your task to achieve when you bring in the energy of the 3. So positive verbal expression to make others feel good, inspired, entertained. But again, there could be some difficulties, not as much of it as if it was your life path, but you might think at first that you're quite shy. You might have a stutter, maybe some language barriers, especially when you're young. Normally these difficulties really come out when you're young. You're here to add to your 4 creative, artistic expression. This is why I say being an organized 4, but bringing some artistry into it, you know, being a creative entrepreneur, because then you need both sides of the coin that you're here to be. So creative, artistic expression to make others feel good, inspired, learned or entertained. It's very much the performer, the teacher, the speaker, the inspirer, the motivator. But again, as well as those potential language barriers, you've got low confidence, potential procrastination that causes inaction or may cause you to hide your creative talent under a bushel. You're also here to support your 4 by being not only creative and verbal and to inspire others, but also being dynamic, courageous, taking those calculated risks to progress. And seeing as the 4 is about being safe and stable and secure, this risks bit of it can be a bit confusing. It's about taking those intuitive but carefully balanced and calculated intuitive, using both your mind and your gut feelings to help you make the right choices, take the right risks without, you know, losing everything. So it's a bit of a taking risks with this purpose. It's like you're taking a risks, but you've got to be careful what risks you take. So maybe not some really silly risks, because they're the ones that are going to hold you back as a 4 and a 3. To enjoy the limelight of an audience, to be the centre of attention. Now the 4, which is what you're here to be mostly, isn't about being at the centre of attention. They're about getting things done, sitting at a desk or standing at a wall and getting it cemented, or, you know, getting the papers and getting them done. And then you've got the 3 energy saying, you've got to be able to talk to people too. You've got to be able to express yourself to others. And do you know what? Many entrepreneurs have that ability not only to run a stable business with clear goals, procedures, policies, you know, and organized accuracy, but they can also stand in front of an audience and inspire, inform and delight as well. See, like maybe the archetype might be Steve Jobs, who was able to get on a stage. Not saying he was overly entertaining or inspiring, but I guess he was trying. And I'm not saying he's a 4-3, he might not be. But it's that kind of archetype energy. You're here to get things done, to take action, to be an executor of the ideas. But again, apart from being shyness, from, or low confidence or procrastinating, hiding your creativity, potential fearfulness, unable to leave your comfort zone due to the need to be safe, fearful, hiding in the background rather than coming forward and putting your ideas out there. You're here to be a doer as well. And because you're here to be a doer, there might be elements of apathy and laziness that you need to get through in order to not only be the 4 that you're here to be, but also the elements of the 3 that you're here to be. You're here to be responsible for you, yourself, and the consequences of your actions. So that's being preemptive with your responsibility, but also taking responsibility when it's happened for the consequences of your actions. Because the 4 is the builder. Basically, the person who builds something stable and secure that's going to keep everyone around them stable and secure. But it's got to be responsible to the world around it and the people around it and the people that they're trying to keep safe. The social for the 3, a little bit more than the 4, because the 3 is about bringing in that positive emotional expression to audiences that lifts others up. Develop positive emotional expression that lifts people up. And then you've got the 4 that's saying get things done and work and focus on your tasks. But then you've got to bring in that element of expressing all that to others and controlling your negative emotional expression. So this is more difficult for a life path 3, but negative emotional expression can also mar you because it can destroy your relationships with people, destroy any group feeling, and it can stop you from lifting others up. In fact, it can make you, put them under the ground and bury them when you're here to lift them up. So managing your emotional expression towards others is something that you need to think about as well. To be independent as well as interdependent. I guess you've got to be independent first for you to be able to be interdependent and engage in tasks that not only build your independence in this world, but also help you to be interdependent with those around you. But the 3 energy has a tendency to dependence and avoidance of routine and commitment. And this is a difficulty for you in the 4 as well. So this could be a major issue. The difficulty with being strong and independent and safe and stable and secure in your own right, but being able to stay in that secure, committed routine, which you could find very difficult to do. But routine and commitment and work that's going to take you towards your goals and your independence is very important for you to develop when you're this combination of numbers. But you're also here to have a little bit of social there. I know the 4 life path is mostly task, and that should be your main focus because it's your life path number, but you do need some social elements here as well, because remember, you're here to not only inspire, inform and delight audiences, but also social groups and be talkative, express your message to even wider audiences or social groups to be the fun, the life of the party. So you're inspiring, informing and delighting people across the board. But the 4 in you and the difficulties in the 3 could enhance your tendency to be quite quiet in social situations, maybe even avoidant of certain social situations. The 4 says, most importantly, to socialize with those that are familiar to you, those people that you know already, that you already feel safe with. But then the 3 says, you've got to look outside that stable, comforting comfort zone friendship and family groups sometimes in order to pull more people in. So focus for the social is going to be the people around you, those you already know in the 4. But then the 3 is saying you've got to go external sometimes and talk and communicate with people and be social with people that you don't necessarily already know. Okay, but it's the familiar people that are more important. But socializing in general is something that's good for you to develop. You're here to learn to be opportunistic, a networker, and it links very much to being able to talk to new people and build not only friendship relationships but lucrative connections for business and entrepreneurial, snapping up opportunities as they arise. And again, you're here to be a 4, mostly task focused, with a little bit of the social. So being opportunistic, being a networker is not so important as it is for you to get your personal goals achieved, but to expand your creativity within the 4. You need to be a networker. You need to be more, you've got to be socially confident enough to be able to just go up to someone and communicate with them about what you want and what you need and the relationship that you want with them. But of course, you're already quiet and avoidant of social situations sometimes. There's shyness and underconfidence and social procrastinator, opportunity procrastinator. So opportunities pass you by because often like the opportunity is there then, and if you don't take it, it's gone like a bird. So that could be an issue. Maybe you've let some opportunities pass you by, and it could be to do with your difficulties in the 4, your inability to have goals and to connect with them and to move forward, or to focus on them, or to move forward with them. And it's going to make you not so opportunistic or not so good at pulling in opportunities as they arise. So these are all going to be difficulties for you if you have this combination of numbers. Now, I hope you've really enjoyed my video, this communication to do today. If you haven't already, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe and follow me. If you'd like to talk to me about a reading, email me at Katie, Katie, at soulexplorer.net, Soul Explorer, one word, .net. Or you can contact me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and Twitter. You'll get a quicker response if you email me. And if you're happy with these videos and you want to support me, then I'm on Ko-Fi and I'm on Patreon. But again, you've got to follow your own intuition on this. Only your inner voice within really knows what it is that you need to do. And it's really important that you trust the soul within you here. And don't forget, before I go, if you're interested in this range of videos, Remember Your Life Purpose is the book for you, because it's really focusing on your life purpose. Have a happy, intuitive week.